Hey, good morning, everybody. Getting this front porch ready. I got my ends attached. The board has a little sag in it. So I pull the string from side to side. Now this is the lowest point. Right here. Pick it up. Make the string tight. Give the string a snap or two. Push it up, watch it up. You want this perfectly straight. You'll see that across the bottom. Maybe 3 more. Here we go. So this porch is going to get a stone veneer underneath it. So we padded it out 3 inches. Same way on my corners. Stone up the side. They might do stone halfway or the whole way. Over here, I wanted to point out how I did this corner. This will give you a nice true corner. Since our lumber's perfectly straight, you just herringbone that together. This is screwed to that one. This will be screwed into that. This is screwed to that. That way this corner won't blow apart. Don't skimp on your tap cons about every 3 feet. Tap cons are cheap compared to what happens if that pushes. That's about it. Getting ready for concrete. So I pulled down from the threshold 7 inches. I gave it about a 1.5% drop to this. So this face is 5 1/4 inches thick. It's kind of what we're looking for. Sometimes we hold these up to a 6-inch step, but then we're getting kind of big out here. So 7 inches, we're allowed up to, I think, 8.5. That's a nice, comfortable step. So we pull down from the top of our board and give us a series of marks 5 1/4 inches down. And we screw that right to the face. So Steve puts the screws in. I just circle them with a pencil. We spray them with a dot of paint. That way, after we're done pouring, you can find that screw and get it out easy enough. Okay. It's supposed to be right around 32 tonight, so we're just going to cover this up so we don't want that gravel freezing overnight. Right now it's real nice, everything's thawed out. We want it to be that way when we show up in the morning. Okay, pumper got here, getting all the hoses connected all the way down to the basement. Okay, yep. Making sure all of our rebar are up on this ledge. Gonna run tie and everything. We're not gonna put this up on chairs until we pour it. A little bit more rebar in there. Let's go check downstairs. Definitely works better with 2 guys that know what they're doing, huh?
Oh yeah. You can do it with 1 guy. You just take some time.
Simple as that. If we don't do anything here, this hose will rub back and forth. It'll cut the hose and it'll damage the door. So we're going to get this up on some cribbing and protect all that. Always, right on time. Well, maybe not always, but mostly always. About ready to get started. So it's a little noisy here. You got to mix up a slurry to pump through the pump first and coat these lines with a slurry, and then we'll put the concrete in there. If we just put the concrete straight with no slurry, it'll dry up the aggregate and it'll clog, usually like right at the bottom of the hill. The slurry will run fast, it'll leave the aggregate behind, it falls up. We did this, we're trying to trap some slurry here, get a big puddle of it, and then send it down the hill. Sometimes that works. If it's going to clog, it'll clog right at the bottom of that hill. We'll see what happens. So that's what we do going through the door. Just some pins, some plywood, just trying to protect that door, protect the hose. It'll move around. We'll have to readjust that a couple of times. Okay, so that was 10 yards. Got that whole bay. 10 more, hopefully gets this. Final 10 right in this area. I hear them mixing up top. Should be any minute. We'll be back in business. So we have a zip strip coming right down here, center of this wall.
Outside too.
So I stopped the zip strip back 12 inches, and I put Ys in, connecting corner to center zip. Good work. Don't believe I ever had that on. And then Matt, what did you do here?
Yeah, it's
Post to post. Post to post. That's gonna be close. You can see how much steam that concrete's putting off. It was getting real hard to see, so I just shut the camera off. We have about 3 yards to go. 30 did not make it. So the guys got on first truck. Getting that all cleaned up, first pass. Nobody's struggling, we're well ahead of the concrete. Okay, it's been about 45 minutes, back underway. We were worried there was air in the line, and we were just protecting the pop from the air. So we'll have this poured in minutes. The guys are on the floor troweling. If it's light enough, I'll try and get some footage of that. Starting to snow pretty good. It's getting muddier. Getting some cleanup done. What a mess. Getting everything loaded back on the truck. Spray it, scrub it, load it on the truck. We're out of here. So everything is done except for this last little bit right here in front of the door. We had the heater going quite a bit. It tightened up pretty good. I think we're right around 12 o'clock. So we started pouring at 8 o'clock, and most of it is done in 4 hours. So that went pretty good. On a hot summer day, we'd get that down to 2.5 to 3 hours. All right, last little bit of footage troweling. We're out of here. So you can see how wet it is right here in front of the door. Concrete's real hard, just greasy on top. Clean off the edge of your trowel. What are you gonna do? Slow and flat. Notice how I always lead with the top of my trowel in the direction I'm going. Over here, you get a little rotation, leading with the top of my trowel. One more time.
What, we done?
So it's turning into a pretty crummy day. Snow's coming down pretty good. No gutters on, it's dripping. So this is how we're gonna leave it until Monday. I got my rebar in place, covered it up with plastic. We're gonna weight this plastic down, get us through the weekend. We have 12 degrees Saturday night. Sunday's a little bit warmer. Monday looks great. So we're going to hold off and pour this next week along with the garage. Basement's all fogged up and got a heater going. I can't get any footage of that down there finishing wise, but I got you a little bit of the pouring. And okay, so this is what I'm pulling into Monday morning after a snowy weekend. Let's see if we can get this poured. So we have it covered up with plastic, and the builder put this black tarp across the front to help keep this front edge from freezing underneath through the weekend. That feels real good. That's right on the very edge. Everything's nice and loose. No frost in there. So we are good to go on the garage. Porch is the same way. We tamped this in, but there's no frost in there. A little bit of frost on the plastic. All right, let's get it poured. Concrete's on the way. I just called Keith at 5:45 in the morning. Sorry, Keith. All right, they should be here shortly. Okay, underway. The guys wouldn't even wait for me. I'm still working on the front porch. Okay, working it to the blue line. All right, I'll back my sill on. Couple nails into the plywood. I'm at a 2x6 from the wall. That gives me about a 4-inch step here. Not a step, a sill. I put this board on. This is just pressed up against the threshold, helping with the op pressure. Got an angle brace right to my band. Nothing will push. Okay, the guys are underway. I'm just hanging back today. There's a lot of people in there. Notice how Steve always points that straight edge to the drain. Corner to drain. And Matt's leading with his drain side with a straight edge. Keeping both ends down. Both rakers. Getting the concrete down. If I had to guess, within a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. Just giving them a little bit extra concrete to work with. Just working it right back, and then Matt will take it right across the front. A little bit more right here. Sill's still a little bit low. We saved this for last right here. So Steve made a screed from drain to sill. This gets our 1.5-inch step down. I like these better, but a lot of people don't. They don't seem to like that 1.5-inch lip. I never even notice it. So Steve will just continue to work it right back. He'll keep that pointing at the drain and keep the high side straight edge riding around the wall, getting to this point, straight edge to drain, and then just work it right up. Matt's doing the same. Okay, so we're gonna take the leftover on number 1 truck and spread this and get the rebar up. I am all out of chairs, but that's okay. We'll get those up in the concrete. On the back wall, we're about 6 inches thick to 4 3/4 up front. I think we set this at. Maybe 5. It was so long ago. Oh, back up a little bit. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, last little bit of concrete right here. Okay, here's the second truck. Plenty of room up there. Rods are up.
Don't make me rake it, Marty.
Looks about the same as number 1. Just putting it right on our blue line, right there. Just making sure these corners are nice and full. I want to see that line when we're done so we know we're right on it. There's a downspout right here, so cover that over. We filled one of those up one time. Created a big headache for everybody, including myself. Go ahead. Just consolidating that front edge. I think we're pretty good right there. Alright, I'll float this edge in. So Matt's just filling the sill in.
You shouldn't need trouble anymore, right?
Oh. Steve's working it back. The guys are taking a little bit excess out of there. Finally, Jim is bull floating. I'm gonna get on cleanup. Porch is out here in the sun, starting to set up pretty good. Just clean this edge off. Little bad spot in the lumber right here. This will be my cut. We always try and keep those out of the way of the door. We don't want to have to run a cut through that door sill. And if you stop it at the base of the door sill, then the crack will continue up through there. So both my cuts are in. That's about a 6 by 7 pad now. Okay, those guys are working on, we each take a pad. I'll go in and start hitting this door sill. Okay, so that's all ready for a broom. It's just a little bit too soft. I can take care of this couple little holes right there from inside the door. We'll give it a couple minutes and start brooming. So that's what we're looking for. We edge underneath there just to clean that up and make it look better. Sill's ready. Steve's taking care of this last little side. Looking good. Starting to get a couple drips. We got a little bit of snow right there. It's just about 6 inches in front of the concrete, so we should be good. Now we do have this big side right up here coming down on this edge, so we may have to protect that. Right now I want the sun on that patio, on that front porch. This was our first truck in the shade. It's almost ready to get on, but it's definitely setting slower. We have a little heater going to help it in here. Sill's pulled. You can see the fall we have on it coming away. Garage door will set right in here. 1.5 inch lip up, all sloping to the floor drain. So this will get broomed, and then we do a 4-inch edge right here, just to clean that up. So we'll be on this shortly. Let's go hit the front porch. So just getting our broom started so we don't have to take the big broom tight up to the sill and damage the sill. So just start those first broom marks. Now we can do a blend. Piece of cake. All right.
Matt and Jim jumped on the garage here, ready for first pass. Matt's gonna go along and true up this garage door lip.
So it's setting up real nice in the sun. We have a real soft broom. Over and back one time is about all we need. It's picking up a little bit while I make the transition. Now that's getting stone up there. So it'll cover. If it didn't, we'd go down that wall with a hand broom while we're floating and start the broom mark like I did over there on the sill. So that's all done on the porch. You can see the water's just missing it by about 6 inches. Right there, it's dripping. So we'll keep an eye on that. Getting pretty warm out now. Should be in good shape. So we'll get caution tape up here. This is all done.
Just waiting on the board. Waiting on the board. Thank you, sir.
That's how I like to leave that. Okay, first pass is all done. The sill is completed. That's how we'll leave this. We put our one tool cut in off of this corner. And Jim wet stab it with his float to really get good separation there. Over the night, we don't want to see a crack coming off of that corner. We want to let it crack right in a straight line right to this wall. And then tomorrow, Steve will come up and do saw cuts off of that drain. And then our 2-foot in cut right down here. I doubt we'll get any of that on footage. I'm going to turn the camera over to Matt and Jim, and they'll get some final footage of this. We are out of here. Sun's coming out. It's pretty nice out. Thanks for tuning in to Concrete with the Hosses. If you liked the video, tell your friends, hit that like and subscribe, send us a comment. See you on the next one.